Yeah, I know last year was scary. It was. Because some people's worst fears came true last year. There's some people whose worst fear in their entire life is losing their job and not being able to provide for their family, and that happened. There's some people whose worst fear in their entire life is getting sick and being a burden on the people that they love, and that happened. I had my worst fear in my entire life come true last year. I got a bee stuck in my hair. I know it doesn't sound like it matches up, but let me explain. First of all, I am deathly allergic, okay? If I get stung, I will die. Me plus B equals dead, okay? That's the quick math for you. And this thing came in hot, all right? It shot in my hair like it belonged there. And at first, I just tried to whip my hair back and forth, try to get it out. That didn't help at all. It just got it more stuck. So now I am running up to people screaming for help, but there is no quicker way to look schizophrenic than running up to people screaming for help, and they can't see the threat, all right? So now I'm running up to white people in the park ruining picnics, okay? I am stepping in people's pesto, I'm slipping in hummus. I fell and snapped a whole charcuterie board. And I know what I should have done. I should have run up and I should have been like, hey, I'm so sorry, but if I could get your attention for just a second, there's a bee in my hair and I'm deathly allergic. If you could help me out, that would be a literal lifesaver, okay? I was too panicked for any of that, all right? So I just ran up on him like, it's in me! Can't you hear it? It's gonna kill me! And I forgot to mention up top that when I slipped in the hummus, I rolled my ankle. So I didn't even get to run up on the regular. I was running up on like, it's in me! Can't you hear it? It's gonna kill me! People were running away from me. It was terrible. It was absolutely horrible. And this is the thing that bothered me the most, the thing that really stressed me out, even broke my heart a little bit, was this was the one time in my entire life that I needed white people to touch my hair and they were nowhere to be found. I wasn't asking, I was begging. I was like, I'm gonna die. And they were like, no, I know better. I learned about this, all right? I went to Vassar, you're not gonna get me canceled. I took a sensitivity class, where's the Twitter?
I'm a little man. And like, this thing, I'm not the smallest person you've seen, but I'm just small enough that if I was yelling at my girlfriend in public, it wouldn't bother anybody. Like usually when you see them, you're like, hey, calm down, is there a problem here, buddy? But for me, it's like, oh, he needs a nap. I know I'm not the only one that this is for, but like I have an incredibly white voice. Everyone tells me how white my voice is, and I didn't know how white it was until like really recently I came to terms with it. And this is how I know. Guys, I phone interview very well. Guys, I crush phone interviews. I hurt feelings, okay? And my name is Josh Johnson, which is basically a resume template. So then I show up and they try not to act disappointed, but we all know what happened. I know you're feeling catfish right now. Let me start on Monday. I don't know, if you're looking at me and you're like, this guy's been mugged, you be right. I'm very muggable. You need to know me. I don't know if other guys in the room do this. Help me out if you do. When you see a dude coming towards you that looks threatening, do you think in your head how you're gonna have to take him? Does that come across your mind? Because the way I can fight in my head is astounding. And the way I fight in real life, not so much. It's pretty terrible. So this dude was coming towards me. He looked threatening, was looking right at me, coming right at me. I thought in my head, oh, looks like we're going to Jason Bourne this. I'm gonna jump up in the air, do 3 flips. I don't want to do 3, but we need to do what needs to be done. You know, bring my knee down his face, crack his skull, punch him in the face so he's incapacitated. That was my plan. This dude's plan was, I'm gonna punch this guy in the face and take his wallet. So we met up. He had a much better plan than I did. His plan was on fire, execution, everything. Some of you guys don't know about me. If you punch me hard enough in the face, I pee. So we met up. He punched me in the face. I hit the ground, started peeing round Q. I don't disappoint. Okay. Now he's trying to fit his huge muscular hand into my pocket to take my wallet, but his hand gets stuck because my pants fit. Go figure. I know. But now his hand is stuck in my pants, but he can see the pee stain getting bigger. And my pants are like, he's lifting me off the ground at this point. I weigh 125. Forget it! And he leaves. Guys, who needs karate? Am I right? I did get the cops called to my apartment. Last year I got the cops called to my apartment because my neighbor thought that I was beating my girlfriend. So I had to explain to the police, not only do I not have a girlfriend, but it's just me in here. Sounding crazy enough to be 2 people. And in my defense, I was losing a fight to a ceiling fan. Let me explain. We've been to the moon, and we use little pieces of glass to talk to other people on the other side of the world if we choose, but there's still no clear indication when to stop pulling the drawstring on a ceiling fan. Now I'm chilly. I was warm before, now I'm chilly. I like the ceiling fan stop because I'm chilly, okay? And it's just going... So the cops come, right? So the cops come, and they don't arrest me, but they feel real sorry for me.
What's doing? Hey, yeah. I'm gonna tell you a story. I got invited to a party, which was big for me, okay? I don't get invited to a lot of parties, all right? I get there, I didn't know there would be hard drugs at this party, you know? And like, I don't judge or anything. It's just that someone offered me heroin, right? Like, here's the hierarchy for me, is that like weed, everybody understands weed, whatever, you know what I mean? Cocaine, you're living on the edge. Crack, you've made a mistake. But no one doing heroin has a 5-year plan, no one, okay? If you do heroin, you either play the guitar really well or you just have a lot of feelings. I don't know what to say about you. So he offered me heroin like it was normal, and I didn't want to not seem cool, but I didn't want to take the heroin. And so he passed it to me, and I was like, no thanks, man. I am stuffed. I could not have any more heroin today. I have had my fill. I am good. Thank you. I live in New York now. I moved to New York from Chicago, and I wasn't ready. Lots of things I was not ready for. One was the rats. I don't know if you guys have rats here, but no one has rats like New York because the rest of the world's rats have shame. I saw a rat inside, All right, and he saw me see him, and instead of scurrying away, he was just like, "What's up, dog?" Like, that's, what is that? What is the, and I'm 800 times bigger than him. I could step on him and kill him. And he was like, "But you won't, though." Like, that, I'd never been more scared. I saw, my friend got a cat, and was like, "It's so great. She eats all the, she eats little roaches. She might even get after a rat." The cat was scared of the rat. The cat was like, "I'm fine. I'm gonna get on this ledge and wait for him to leave," all right? It was devastating. The other thing I wasn't ready for was the third graders. I don't know what it is about being born and raised in Brooklyn or the Bronx that makes you such a natural bully, but they're monsters, okay? They're little terrorists, all right? I'm more scared of third graders now than I was in third grade. I actually asked to get off work early so I could make sure I was in my house when they got out of school because I didn't want to run into them anymore. They're little monsters. Like, I was just walking down the street and one was like, "Hey, hey." First of all, too much bass for a third grader, all right? I turned around, almost called him sir by accident. I didn't know who was talking to me. I turned, he's like, "Hey, what's up, bird shoulders?" I don't know what that means. But I went home and cried afterward. You ever have someone make fun of you and you don't even get it, but it hits such a core part of who you are that you get hurt anyway? Like, I was sitting, my body hasn't changed since it happened. I probably still have bird shoulder. I have no idea what it is. I have a lot of fears since I'm little, you know? I'm scared of a lot of things. My biggest fear above like rats or third graders or anything else is just finding a dead white girl. In fact, I think that's why there's no black ghost hunters, because we don't want to come in a room and just, I'm too black to just find her. There's gonna be an investigation. There's gonna be leads, okay? People are gonna be calling in. They're gonna use a picture of me on the news. It's not gonna be a good one. It's not gonna be a picture with me looking like the first picture day or something. It's gonna be me stubbing my toe like, and you're gonna see that on the news and be like, "He did it, look at him." Who smiles bottom teeth first? He is a murderer. In fact, I'm so scared that I would walk in, see her dead, scream, someone runs and be like, "What did you do?" No, that was my scream. That was not her. I know it's hard to believe, but I screamed the way she would have screamed had this been me to her, but please don't. Okay, I'll go to jail now, and I won't last. I had to take a flight. Another fear that's creeping towards the top of the list is tiny planes. You know? I had to take a tiny plane. I didn't think it would be a big deal. It only seated 8 people. It's the tiniest plane I've ever been on. And it was so small that there was no cockpit. So I could see the captain and the co-pilot. I could hear both of them. At one point during the flight, the captain was like, "Whoa!" I was like, What? Oh my God, what? "No, don't act like I can't hear you, sir. We're talking right now, okay? Do I need to get up ahead? Don't tell me to sit down. I can't stand up. The plane's not that big." And I should have known something was wrong because I got to the gate and they wanted to weigh my carry-ons. Which never happens. But I was like, fine, backpack's 13 pounds, laptop's 4 pounds with the case. And then they were like, "How much do you weigh?" And I was like, "How small is the plane? How small is the plane? You need to know my 125-pound body weighs 125 pounds. And then I get to the plane, I'm like, that makes sense. Okay, fair enough. It's the smallest plane I've ever been on. And like, it took, like this plane, I know it's not nice, I know it's not kind, but like, I was the youngest person on this flight by far. Everyone else was 80 and up. So a real thought I had on the flight was, this is heaven's waiting room. I gotta get out of here. This is terrible. She already looked dead. And her soul just had to step out to get to heaven. I don't wanna be up here with people dying. And you know that overhead compartment that's supposed to drop an air mask if there's too much turbulence? That's not there at all. It's just little Bibles fall out because you're gonna die. So you might as well get a verse in or something. You're dead, okay? It was terrible. And like, we were flying, and like I was having these heart palpitations and everything. I didn't know if I would last or anything. And then I don't know how planes work, okay? I can't pretend. I'm not a genius, all right? But at least the big planes take off right away. It took this little plane so long to take off, I thought we were gonna drive there. This plane is actually leaving the ground and coming back down, and leaving the ground and coming back down, to the point where I looked at the pilot and I was like, do we all need to jump at the same time? What's gonna keep me in the air? I just wanna get to the place, please. Guys, I'm Josh Johnson. Thanks so much. You have a great night. Appreciate